So this week is all about prepping for your informative speech with your cohort next week. So along with finalizing any final edits to your outline, practicing your individual speech delivery, you should probably spend some time just testing Collaborate and making sure that everything flows as a team for next week. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of quick tips to use as you work together and record your Collaborate session. So first I am going to go into Blackboard and I'm going to go to the Blackboard Collaborate section. And you will see under Scheduled Sessions that I've created separate recording rooms for each of your cohorts. Now for this tutorial I've actually enrolled myself as a student in cohort number 1. So I'm going to click the cohort 1 recording room. And this room operates just like your other Collaborate session. You click Join Room to launch the Blackboard Collaborate launcher and follow the prompts to set up your session. One of the first things that you want to do before you get started is you want to load everybody's PowerPoint presentation. I recommend putting the entire team's visual aids in the same PowerPoint file. To give you an example of what I mean, I'm going to use the Load Content button. I'm going to click Load Content, go to my desktop, and find my file that I've labeled Informative Visual Aids, and click Open. So when my PowerPoint loads, this Page Explorer menu pops up, and you can see that it is displaying all of the slides within my PowerPoint. Now notice here, slides number 1, 3, and 5 are blank slides, but slides number 2 and 4 have actual visual aids on them. So what you can do is you can put a blank slide as your first slide, make the second slide your first speaker's visual aid, and then simply place blank slides between each of your speaker's visual aids. This will allow you to utilize that conceal, reveal, conceal rule that we talked about in the lecture video a week or so ago. So one thing I like to do is I like to take my Page Explorer menu and simply drag it up here and make it a little bit smaller so that it's kind of out of the way. And I can advance this button by using this little right arrow, and every time I click it, it advances to my next slide. So make sure that when it's your turn to speak, that you click this right button when you're ready to show your visual aid, and when you're done you simply advance it again. And then the next speaker will do the same thing. When they're ready to reveal their visual aid in a certain part of their speech, they'll click this little right button here to display it, and then they'll press it again to conceal it. So that's the first thing that I would do. The second thing I would do is to come over here to the audio and video panel, and you see when I come over the right hand side of this whole window here, I get a little left or right arrow function. So I like to click it and drag it so that it's bigger and so that I can see this video area much more largely. So now when I press the video function, you can see that my image is much larger here, and like I said, and you can use both this down button and this right and left function in order to make this screen much larger. So when you're working with your teammates, you want to set up everybody's microphone and camera and make sure that everything is working properly. When you're ready to start the session, leave everybody's video camera on, but make sure that everybody presses this talk button to turn off the microphone. So you simply do that by clicking that talk button again to turn the microphone on or off. So one thing that I recommend is that everybody keeps their microphone off until it is their turn to speak. The moderator can certainly turn on the microphone when they are introducing each speaker and then turn it off when they're done, and then each individual speaker will turn the microphone on and off for their personal speech. Don't forget before you begin that the moderator needs to click the record button to start your recording.
Recording started.
And then when you're done, you'll simply press the recording button again.
Recording stopped.
To stop the recording. Once you guys have finished your session, it's a good idea to go back into Blackboard and go to the Blackboard Collaborate section and go to the recording section to make sure that your recording was saved properly. It usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes or so, depending on the load at that time. So your moderator probably wants to go in and just double check that this recording was captured successfully. And that's it. Don't forget that when it's your turn to speak, you will want to set up your room so that it is free of distractions. One great way to do that is to just kind of look in this window here and just adjust. For example, I see I've got my bookcase behind there, so I can kind of turn this way. And when I turn, I see, oh, I've got this water bottle here, so I can move that out of the way. And when it's my turn to speak, I'll make sure that I stand up, push my chair, adjust my camera, and take a few steps back, and then I will stand here with my note cards and deliver my speech. When I'm done, I'll simply sit back down and support my teammates. You can use this chat area here to send messages to everyone, like, good job, Susan. And you can give people little shout outs over here. There's also emoticons. If you hover over here, you can send an applause button to show that you're applauding the speaker. So feel free to use these tools on the left-hand side to communicate with one another. And those are my quick and easy tips for your first cohort recording session. And good luck, and I can't wait to hear all of your speeches.